Look at these beauties. These are some young plants from the wild or red pineapple. Ananas bracteatus, or sometimes called variegatus because of all the great variegation. Let's talk about them a minute. Hey, I'm Elise. I'm glad you stopped by. Now, I put some of the plants up here because I wanted to look at them, see if they needed to be repotted, weeded a little bit, anything like that. I'm in Zone 9B. We're just coming out of winter. Now, these have all been really kind of crushed together up under the trees for our winter time. And they did fine. Some of the leaves are a little bent, but that's okay. They'll straighten out. Let me share with you just a little basic information about these great plants. That was a noisy truck. This is called wild pineapple or red pineapple, and yes, it does produce a bright red pineapple. Now, it's normally grown as an ornamental. The pineapple may or may not be edible, but it's still a fantastic plant to grow. And from what I have read, it's a plant that bromeliad collectors really like. Yes, it is a bromeliad. This is a very hardy terrestrial bromeliad. I grow mine in partial sun-shade mix, and they do fine. If you put the young ones out in too much of a hot sun, they will scald. But you can save them just by pulling them back. Now, make sure you have a good pair of gloves on when you handle them. They are extremely serrated. These are Crownlets. They are a propagule from the mother pineapple. They grow on the top of the pineapple right underneath the center crown. They're called Crownlets. They will grow out and make beautiful ornamental plants, and they can produce a red pineapple. Again, the pineapple may not be edible, or it might be. There's 4 or 5 varieties of ornamental pineapples. And then, of course, there's that beautiful gold pineapple that we are all used to buy at the grocery store, or we can grow ourselves. But I wanted to pull these out, give them a little TLC, get them separated so the leaves will all straighten back out. They grow from a rosette like a bromeliad, so it's going to grow out from the center. And if there's any of the leaves on the bottom that don't look too swift, I'll just cut them off. So let's talk about the variegation a little bit. Look at that. All of these came from the same pineapple. And we've got varying degrees of that beautiful pink. So we get an emerald green, a light green, a cream color, a pink, and sometimes red. When these plants get ready to set blooms, when they're old enough to bloom out and start a pineapple, the whole inside area of the plant will turn bright red. This is the only ornamental pineapple that I have ever grown, so it's the only one I have any expertise with. And I have been growing this for years and years and years. Every spring I go out and look for that bloom to come. If you see the reddening on the rosette, and just keep watching, and just a little bit of time you're going to get a bloom. If you get a bloom, chances are it's going to produce a pineapple. Some of my pineapples were edible, some were not. Lots of it has to do with how you grow it and how long you let it grow, the weather conditions, anything like that. Okay, variegation. This variegation changes. I've never found any rhyme or reason. It just changes. All of these are the same age, off of the same mother pineapple. All types of variegation. Double, triple stripes, single stripes. Some are almost solid green, or solid beigey white. It's kind of like they decide, well, how old am I, what's the weather like, how well did you talk to me recently, and it's about the 6th Thursday of the 18th month. So I think I'll change my variegation. And it's not only the small ones, the more mature plants do it also. And I have other videos talking about this wonderful ornamental pineapple. So I want to take one out. I want to check the root structure to see if I need to repot these. Now the first thing you do, of course, is you look on the bottom to see if you see any roots coming out, which I don't. Pineapples don't always have really deep roots. Gloves, folks. Cup it around. Get all your foliage in one hand, and then squeeze your pot to release the soil. Slide it out. So we do have a really good root system there. Nice. And it's not huge for this size of a plant. Now I popped these right off of the mother pineapple. And they did have what I consider a little basil plate on the bottom. So I knew that they were going to root very well. I did have some pieces that when I popped them off, they broke. And actually it just looked like little leaves still in a circle. But I didn't give up on them. I put them in some water, and you know, they are water rooted. You never know. Bromeliads are quite hardy. Actually, I could lay this out and leave it out, just like this, as long as it wasn't sitting in the bright hot sun, and chances are it would be fine. So I'm just going to put it right back in here. I don't see any need to repot it. So if you get one of these, as soon as you get it, just cup it up, spread the roots out, snug it in. This is a two-handed operation. Put your soil in. This is just some general, well-draining, all-purpose soil. These were just watered last night, and that's why the soil is damp. And that's it. Now, since I grow mine outside, they're going to have a little environmental blemish. They might even have a bug bite or two, but they're fairly disease and insect resistant. But that does not hurt the growth of the plant. They do fine. Let's look at this one. Isn't that pretty? Look at all that variegation. And the new growth coming out of the rosette is more of a solid green, but it is tinged in the pink. And here's some little winter damage. I can just trim that off, not a problem. Very easy to grow. Partial sunshade, they like heat, they like moisture. But not enough that they're going to rot. Make sure if you are growing them in containers that the container is very well draining. If you live in a location where your hardiness zone allows it, grow them outside. I put mine under a high canopy tree. They get a little morning sun. They get some protection during the hot day. Sometimes they'll get a little evening sun. Depends upon how the trees have flushed the leaves out and what time of the year. But they all do really, really well. Nice. Wild pineapple. Red pineapple. Very easy to grow. All right. Fantastic ornamental. I'm not going to say it's rare, but from what I have read, it is a collector's item. Let me go show you a couple of the large ones. Now look at this beauty. This is several of the plants in containers. They are slips and they are crowns. The crown, of course, you know, is at the top of the pineapple. The slip grows at the base of the pineapple, right on the bottom of the pineapple, sometimes right on the top of the stem. Beautiful. All these are in pots. I may go ahead and put some of them in the ground. But wouldn't they make a gorgeous border? Let me show you some older ones. And these are in the ground. I might get a pineapple from these. But look at that one, predominantly cream. And look at all the different stripe variations. Very nice. And I want to show you one more. We are coming out of winter. Everything's a mess. Lots of leaf debris. Look at this one. I really expect this one to produce a pineapple this year. So I'll be coming out once a week, twice a week, and checking to see if it's going to start turning red in the center. Gorgeous. These can get 5 foot or more tall if you stretch the leaves out. And you need to give them some room if you're going to grow them outside and just let them do their own thing. And a couple more. The one we just looked at is the sucker or the pup or the offshoot. It grows from the plant itself. So you have various propagals. Very neat. Fantastic plant to grow. Wonderful ornamental. So when can you expect these crownlets to produce a pineapple? A couple of years. Maybe a little longer. Or they might not produce a pineapple at all. The best thing to do is to grow these as an ornamental. And then when they produce a pineapple, or if they produce a pineapple, that's just like icing on the cake. Something to be very happy about. They come in all different variegations. The variegation is going to change. What we're looking at now in the next week or so can change. And look how tall some of these stems are. So I'm going to put these up and I'm going to space them out some, give them some room. All those little leaves will straighten up, but they are a free-form, kind of floppy type of bromeliad. They do grow from the center and the rosette. The maintenance is fairly easy, depending upon if you're growing them inside or outside. As I just showed you, outside in a wild area, it's best to just let them be themselves. But these are great around pools, if you have hot houses, sunrooms. Now, since they are heavily variegated, do not put them in the path where people can hit them when they're walking by, or if, you know, the kids or the animals are out playing. You'll want to put them away somewhere where they still can be enjoyed, but not be anywhere that the serration can hit you. These are fantastic in big rock gardens. Just tuck them into the rock gardens. They do like heat, they do like humidity, sunshade, water. Just make sure the soil, the container, whatever you're using is very well draining. Because they will rot if they are left sitting in water too long. That's it. I will be listing some of these for as long as they last. And there's a couple of links down in the description if you want to check it out. Until we speak again, have a fantastic day.